Couple of things for today. You need your white homework packet out. We're going to be talking about that today. You need something to write with. We need that. Number lines on your desk. We got that, but again, if you want to use one on your paper, you'll need that one out too. And again, if there's anything that you're turning into us, either to me or Mrs. Hill, please put your first and your last name on it before you turn it in the basket. And then after, we got short notes today, and then at the end, I'm going to hand a bunch of stuff back to you so that you get all that stuff done. Because tomorrow is a formative. So tomorrow in class, we'll be taking a formative, and then working on some kid homework done and all that fun stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow's kind of a work day, plus you have formatives. Okay? All right. Here we go. So we should start with this one on there. Okay? So what we would like to do is we would like to add two numbers. Okay. So we're going to add two numbers. Now, that number that we're talking about, or adding, when we're adding, we're really talking about the number that comes after the addition sign. And we've got two choices there for that one. We could add a positive, or we could add what? We could add a negative number. And that one is normally in a set of parentheses. So that's our two choices we'll have. What don't you have? Don't have anything? So 1, you came late. 2, you got an earbud in. 3, you got no packet. Yeah. Okay. So how can you fix one of those 3? You're close. So again, it's late. You can't fix that one, right? Okay. You got an earbud in. Can we fix that one? No, we can't. Okay, I thought we could. Okay. And then now, what would you need from me in order to copy down these notes? Need a new packet? Okay. Yeah, you need to. Yay. So good, because this is all true. You're going to need a packet. You got one right there. So there we go. Awesome. Okay. All right. So, which one do you want to deal with first? Blue or green? Green. You want to deal with the negative one first? Okay. So if we're adding a negative number, okay. So if we're doing this now on a number line, let's say, okay. So we're adding this on a number line. What if I'm adding a negative number? What are my two directions for the number line? If I'm adding a negative number on a vertical number line, which direction would I go? And then on a horizontal number line, which direction would I go? If I'm adding a negative number, down, okay, or left. Yep. Okay. So if I'm adding a negative number on a number line, down or left. If I'm adding a positive number, which way do I go? Up or right? Yeah, up or right. Now we also taught, and these ones you can put up, these ones you can put up here in this corner up here, because they work for both of these. So if you put them up there in that corner. We also talked last week and this week about if our signs are the same, meaning positive plus a positive, negative plus a negative. Okay? So if our signs are the same, we add the digits and we keep the sign. Okay? We add the digits and we keep the sign. If the signs are different, negative plus a positive, positive plus a negative, then what do we do? With our digits first, we do the digits. We subtract the digits, and then what do we do about the sign? Well, we subtract the digits. And what do we do with the sign? Like, is it positive or negative? What? Keep it close. There's a little bit more to it. Because they're different signs. Which one do we keep? The bigger one, whichever the bigger one is. Yep. We keep the bigger sign. So we subtract the digits, but the sign is the same as the bigger of the two. Air quote, the bigger one, because one of them might be smaller than the other one, but it's a bigger digit. Okay? With that being said, what I'd like you to do now as a warm-up is I would like you to do numbers 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. On the next, the right underneath that. All right, so negative 2 plus 9. Start down at negative 2, and then what direction am I going on the number line? Up. I'm going up. So I go up 9 spots. Where do I end? At 7. Yep, exactly. I end at 7. Okay. 14, so I start at 14. Subtraction, which direction am I going normally for subtraction? Normally going down, but I'm subtracting a negative, which means which direction do I really go? I really go up. So I'm really going up 6 more to end at 20. Yep. $17 plus, so normally I'd be going up, but I'm adding a negative, so that means I'm going to go down. Okay, so I'm adding a negative, I'm going down. So 17, I go down 9 spots, leaves me at 8. Yes, 8. Okay. Now this middle one is the one that I want to talk about here next on your sheet here. I would like you to add in the word negative after the number 2 on that one. We really want to talk here about what do you do if there are 2 negative signs between the numbers. Okay? Because 2 negatives, we don't ever really write that in there. We can write plus a negative number. We're okay with that. But we don't like 2 negatives. The 2 negatives, it makes it become a plus. Because what we did there, we started at 14, but we really went up, which is the plus direction. We talked about adding a positive direction. So we went up 6. Okay? So that's why the 2 negatives make it be a positive. Okay? So with that being said now, that was it on that slide. Oh, I had it down there. Okay? So in math, you can really only ever do 2 things that are add 2 numbers or subtract 2 numbers at a time. So when you've got 3 of them, you really have to break this down. And we were talking earlier today in my first class and subsequently, and we were actually just talking about it over here too. You could add a set of parentheses. And that parentheses would be kind of right in here. Okay? Because we can only really do that -5 plus 25 at one time. Okay? Even at the highest levels of calculus, they can only add 2 numbers at a time. Okay? So what is -5 plus 25? Positive or negative? Positive 20. Does everybody agree with that as positive 20? Okay. Right. I would also agree that that is, oops, I put negative 20. I would agree that that is positive 20. Then you still have the -20. So now you've got positive 20 minus 20 gives you 0. Yeah. The roundest number you can think of. Okay. With that being said, I'd like you to now try number 5. So if I start with 8 plus a -3, I'm going to start at 8. Which direction am I going on my number line? Down 3 puts me to 5, right? So that part right there is 5. And then on top of that, or after that, then I got to go subtract 12. Which direction again? Still down. So 5 and then go down 12 more puts me at -7. -7. So what we could have also done is we could have done -3 minus 12. So you did, yep, and that's, so there's really 3 ways then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The nice part about addition is that the order doesn't matter what you do with it. As long as you didn't suddenly go +3 minus 8. You know what I mean? Switch the signs on those. Yeah, it doesn't matter what order you do those in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good question. Now, what we've been noticing, Mrs. Hill and I, last couple of days, is that we're giving you all this space to show your work, and you're trying to scrunch it in right on top of the letters. Don't do that, okay? Give your work space to breathe, okay? All right? So what we're saying here is that W is -2, X is 15, and Y is -5. So X plus Y would be 15 plus Y would be negative 5. Adding a negative, which way am I going on the number line? Which way? Adding a negative. Going down, right? Okay. So 15, then down 5 spots, puts me at 10. 10. If you haven't done so already, do 7 and 8. So we've got negative of negative 5, and then we're going to add to that negative 2. Okay. So what is the negative of negative 5, or the opposite of negative 5? Positive 5. Yep, just regular old positive 5. So then this would become positive 5 plus a negative 2, which is going to be, no, positive 5 plus negative 2 is 3. Yep, 3. Then over here we had negative 5 plus 5 plus negative of negative 5. Lots of parentheses in this one. 12. Negative 5 plus 5. These two right here. That's 0. Okay. The opposite of negative 5 would be 5, and then plus 12. So we've got 5 plus 12, or so we start at 0, I should say. 0 plus 5 gets me to 5, plus 12 more gets me to 17. Okay. Questions on any of that? So I'm going to hand out, first I'm going to hand out tonight's homework, which you'll have plenty of time to work on. If you wanted to check the work before you turn it in, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, check it before you turn it in, always a good thing. I have the answer key out for here. Then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand back any and all work that you have handed in so far up to and including yesterday. Okay? Then I'm going to focus in on that basket over there. I'm going to make sure you get those corrected and all that stuff because I want to get you guys as many tools that you can use for your formative assessment tomorrow. Okay? Now, when we hand something back, I usually correct mine in blue. Okay? Mrs. Hill usually corrects hers in green. And we usually circle something that you did wrong. Okay? So we'll circle that's what you did wrong, and then if we X it out or we put a C through it, then that means that is corrected then. Okay? Right? So you would only have to fix the ones that are circled on your page.